Hey you! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm super excited for today's video. But before we get into the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like to see next, and don't forget to share this with all of your friends. I make these videos for you guys and I would love to see you guys sharing them with your friends, and I hope that they're super helpful and applicable in your lives today. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about if you only had one day to live. Now, that's kind of a daunting phrase and kind of a scary thing to think about, just to dwell on, because it's easy to come to this place of fear when we're thinking about that, because if we only had one day to live, where would we go? And what would happen? That can be hard to think about, and I think a lot of times we shove it out of our heads because we don't want to think about it. But I wanted to talk about it because our world is getting a little bit crazy right now, and we don't know what each day brings and what each day will hold, but we do know that we can trust in the Lord and that He is faithful. At least those of us who do know the Lord and know that He is who He says He is. But it can be hard to think about things like this because they're so absolute and big and they feel bigger than us. I wanted to ask you guys some questions. I was kind of thinking through these questions myself, and I'm just going to talk through each of them as I ask them to you. And I just want this to give you guys space in your heads and in your lives to think about what this means for you in your life, and if you only had today to live, what would that look like? And so the first question is, what would you want to do? For me, there are a lot of things that I want to do, but if I only had one more day to live, I feel like it would be based around relationships with people and making sure that I was in a right place with people and in a right place with God, and that I would have wanted to do what the Lord had asked me to, because not fulfilling that and then dying leaves your life as a pretty pointless thing and something that nobody really needs to or might not remember. So yeah, which is intense, very intense. But yeah, it's just interesting to think about, what would you do, and what would you want to have done, because the day that you're living today is what's going to affect your tomorrow, and soon enough you won't have any more tomorrows to affect by living today. So we need to make sure that today counts, so that each day that we do live can build off of each other and leave a legacy that would point people to Jesus ultimately, and would just be bigger than ourselves, because I think that that's all what we desire in life. But we can lose focus of that, especially in this age of information with so much going on in social media. We can get so caught in the whirlwind of social media that we forget what we're doing and why we're on earth. The next question is, who would you want to see? For me, who would I want to see brings up the thought of relationships, and are there broken relationships? Have I left somebody in a place of hurt? Have I put off seeing someone who I know I want to see, and I know that the Lord has put on my heart to be with, whether it's for my gain or for their gain? So yeah, who would you want to see? Who would that be, and what would that look like? Because you have the opportunity today to think about this and then take that step, hopefully with another tomorrow coming, but to take that step before it's too late, before you don't have another day to decide that. One story in particular would be my great-grandma, who died this past fall. And I remember always wanting to ask her about stories, because she lived in the 20s and 30s, and I was very interested in hearing stories from her lifetime and in her era of that time in history, because I didn't live in it. But every time we were with her, I felt nervous and so small that I didn't want to ask. And now I wish I had, although it wasn't the end-all be-all that I asked those questions, but I knew that we wouldn't have her forever. But then as soon as she's gone, it makes me realize that I could have done those things and asked her those questions while she was alive, but now I can't. And that's just the reality of it. So who would you want to see, and how can you make that happen now before it's too late? Next, who would you have wanted to treat better? So I think of people like cashiers in the grocery store, or people on the streets that you see, that sometimes I think we give ourselves a pass because we don't know them personally to act cold toward them or to ignore people because I don't know them, and why do I care what they think of me or what I think of them? Like, we're not friends here. But we need to value relationship with people and time spent with people, because everyone is valuable in God's sight and we're accountable for how we act. And it's not like, I don't know, if I've been treated badly before by people, and it's not like I don't know who they are or like they're hidden to me. If they treat me badly, I can see that they're doing that. So it's good for us to think about how we're treating people in our everyday lives, and whether that be your parents, whether you're honoring your parents or treating them badly, your siblings, your co-workers. Yeah, just there's a lot of people groups that I could think about, and I want to treat the people in my life well, whether they are directly in relationship with me or just someone that we're passing by each other. I want to be a light to them in any way I can, rather than spreading coldness or hate. I don't want to spread that. That's just a thought to think about, how you're treating people and who you want to treat better now so that you don't have to regret it looking back on your life. Another thing, what would you have wanted to say? So this reminds me of influencers and social media, because I think that with social media, everyone wants to say something, everyone wants to be heard. But on a smaller scale, with where you are at in life right now, with where I'm at in life right now, what do I want to say? What would I have wanted to say to people? And do I say every day what I want people to remember me saying? Do I complain every day so that people are like, Sally was a complainer, so she's gone now and it's sad, but which I don't want that to be how my legacy is left and my story. I want to be someone who brought light to people, who brought joy and Jesus to people's lives. I want to be someone that brings a positive feeling wherever she goes. So what do you want to say, and are you saying what you want to say, or are you allowing the heaviness or the hardness of life to get you down each day? And going along with that, listen to people in your life, your closest friends, your family, your parents. If something's not measuring up, be willing to listen to people. If they say, hey, you seem a little angry all the time, what's going on? Or if people are asking you about something that they're seeing in you that they didn't see before, or that they're finally talking about, allow them to say, yeah, you seem pretty hard toward me, what's wrong? And yeah, go through the time to solve things that are worth solving so that you can continue in life getting better and better, because that's ultimately what the Lord has for us, is to grow in Him. Yeah. Okay, where do you stand with God? So I feel like this is the biggest one, and if today was your last day to live, where would you be standing with God? Because we can push God aside and put other things first, but ultimately He was the first and the last of all eternity, and He will make the final call on everything. So where do you stand with God, and what does that look like? And if you don't know Christ personally, do some research, get yourself educated, but more so in touch with the Lord, because He's so close. He's right here. He's right around us. He's like, yeah, everywhere that we are, He is, because He made us and He made this universe, and He's ready to be in a relationship with us. So if you don't know the Lord, I would urge you to find out more about Him and ask Him to come and be a part of your life and live in your heart and change your life and make you a new creation, because He wants to, and He loves you. And the ultimate thing that the whole world, whether they know it now or not, are going to be looking to in the end of time. We're gonna look to the Lord and look to who He is as the creator and the sustainer of all things. So before I end this video, I don't want to scare anyone. I don't want to get you scared and fearful to live each day, but this was more of a check for me in myself and in my own life, and then I wanted to share on my YouTube channel this sense of what is life and what are we doing with our lives today, and are we encouraging and uplifting and loving others and supporting them while also being an influence for them and listening to Jesus. Because if we're just spreading our own desires and our own positivity, it's not ultimately going to help anyone or anything except for in the moment. Anyway, so I don't want to say this to scare you, and I don't want to, bring fear into your everyday lives, but just to remember why we're here, and that ultimately Jesus is going to be our all in all, and when we put our trust in Him, He is so faithful to just bring us up higher to where he is. And I am excited for what he's going to do in the coming months and years of time. And I just pray that you are a part of his work and his story, and that he's allowed to work in your life to do amazing things, because he wants to and he will. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day wherever you're at, and I'm so happy that you got to watch this video. Please comment down below and tell me what you thought of it, and I hope that you guys have a great day and that the Lord is close to you today as you walk with him.